first of all, I could not be more honored to be the first book of your book club. Like, I can't even tell you guys how much that means to me. So thank you both. I'm thrilled. And yeah, I mean, this has been the launch of launches. Like, the support that I've gotten has been tremendous. And I really appreciate it. This is one of those moments in your life, where you're like, okay, if you ever had a nice, kind thought about me in the world, please support, if I ruled the world.
A 3,
a 2, a 1.
A 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Read This, Read That. I am Jackie Reed.
I'm Joyanne Reed.
Well, cousin, sister, since last we met,
girl,
so many things have happened in this world. And these are crazy times. And I mean, it's like right before we said a 3, a 2, a 1. We were just kind of, things were coming up that were happening in the news. And we were like, okay, we just got to start and just bring it into the show. So we're going to get to all the things in just a minute, but this is a safe space for us and for you. So we do like to start with a little personal moment and just have our wind down a little bit, just reconnect, like put our feet in the soil. Yes. That's what the wind down is. It's us putting our feet in the grounding.
Yes.
We're going to ground a little bit before we get into the chaos of the world. But first, before we do that other thing first, please like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
And leave a comment and support your favorite cousins on this journey of independent media journalism. Okay?
Please.
Okay. So, do you have a wind? Listen, it's like we got to laugh to keep from crying. You got to like find the joy.
Yes. So I will start with my wind down, and I will start by letting you guys know what I'm drinking here. I put it in a fancy glass because I'm not drinking alcohol this early in the day at the time that we're taping this, but I want it to feel like I am because I feel like I need a drink. Okay, there's so much happening. So I'm drinking Trip Wonderful Blend. It is raspberry and blossom, lightly sparkling drink. It's a mindful botanical. So I've been getting this is like my Hi-O. They're like botanicals. So they have, they have no fat. They have very little carbs. They have very little sugar. This one has a lot of magnesium in it. And so I'm trying to drink these botanicals because the way even that they're sweetened is like apple juice, guava, raspberry. I'm trying to get away from high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that. I need to make sure that there's none of that in here. I don't see it. There's ginseng. It has stevia, which I don't love that kind of stuff, but it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup. So I'm trying to drink stuff that's healthy. I'm on my little wellness journey. Of course, with my Jackie Reed Wellness Guide, I am taking that and using that. I do subscribe to that, which you all should too. And I'm waking up every morning and doing my Qigong, or doing this morning I did Tai Chi.
Oh, love that.
So I did 26 minutes. It was a 25-minute Tai Chi workout. So I either do that or I do my little lymphatic drainage thing with this Australian lady. That's so much fun. So I'm doing that, but that's not actually my real wind down. My real one. So I'm on my wellness journey. But that's part of my gift to Jackie Reed this year is that I'm going to actually listen to her from time to time. But I'm really, really thinking about Jackie Reed gifts because my wind down is that it's your birthday coming up.
Yes, it is.
Your birthday is coming up. So my wind down is I'm trying to think of what to get Jackie Reed. Jackie is not easy to buy for because first of all, being vegan means you can't buy her like anything that has like even looked at a cow funny. They even looked at a cow in an ugly, and made an ugly face. Don't get her that. I have tried to buy. I bought vegan. Remember, I think I bought you a vegan bag one year. Like I try to get some. So
You're always good. You get me soy candles. You got me soy candles, books, vegan cookbooks. I mean, you're always
vegan cookbooks. I sent your Christmas gift very late. It'll get there eventually. I don't know how long UPS is going to take. So you're probably going to get your birthday and Christmas gift at the same time. But so I'm thinking about it. But I said, as I'm gearing up to think about what to get my soror sister cousin friend Jackie Reed for her birthday, which I think tomorrow is like the last day I can mail it and hope that maybe in the snow that the mail will get it there on time. So I'm just warning you now to probably be late. Girl, let me tell you what I thought about sending you because look what I found.
What?
I might just send you this. If you all have been long-term
I was gonna say
viewers,
that's OG RTRT.
our Pimp Cup.
Yes.
This is an artifact. This is my wind down. This is actually my wind down. If y'all are OG, this is how you know that you are a genuine cousin, because y'all been listening to us since we used to drink. Our wine downs used to include this Pimp Cup.
Oh.
And it is a Pimp Cup. I mean, it genuinely
It
is.
is.
A Pimp Cup. And I do not remember how we ended up with it, but I know you the one who got us these Pimp Cups and showed up with them. And we used to literally drink from these like a couple of straight up pimps. Yeah. So this might be
drinking, girl. we was drinking.
This is when we and this is how much Prosecco and Saint Germain was in the cups. And so y'all just understand, we used to record Read This, Read That during the day when we were both at work. We would leave and go into Al Sharpton's studio. True story, because he let us borrow his studio time so that we wouldn't have to pay for a studio. And we would go in Sharpton's studio during our work day and do our show
with liquor.
And our wine downs were real wine.
Yes, they were. Remember the wine god?
The wine god. Remember we did the two sisters who they're actually like, they're not twins, but they discovered they were sisters when they were adults, and they sponsored us some wine.
Yes.
And were they a Black Girl Magic wine?
They did a Black Girl Magic wine, but wait a minute, I gotta look them up because we had them on the show.
Sisters. Yeah, the Something Sisters. Oh my God, what their name? But yeah, so my wind down is I took a trip down memory lane. I went to get my
McBride sisters.
The McBride sisters. Yo, so I want to encourage all of you. If you guys want to gift for yourselves, go back in the archives. Hopefully, Miss Holly has put them up. We used to cut up. Know that we were drunk. Not drunk, but we were drinking.
Drunk.
We were fairly drunk.
Remember those days when we used to talk about The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones?
Oh,
that's
my
when we
God.
first had Michael Harriet on for Dem Thrones.
We had Michael Harriet on for Dem Thrones. We used to have like celebrities. We had Broadway actors. We would just put the sister from Orange is the New Black, who's now our soror. She came in honorary last season. We would just have on Danielle Brooks. It was a total. I feel like that was a billion years ago that we felt so carefree in that era when we first started Read This, Read That. And it was in our baby age. We weren't even doing it as like a professional money-making thing. We were just doing it because it was literally our safe space, and it was our mental health day. Once a week where we could get together and just talk about fun and movies, nothing serious, all fun. So my wind down is those were the days. Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. Gosh, I saw that glass and I was like, oh my God.
Listen.
I wonder where mine is.
I don't know where yours is, but mine was living in my office. So it just has traveled with me, because when we first started Read This, Read That, I was doing a weekend show. I was doing AM Joy.
Yeah.
And so then when I moved to the primetime show, to the readout, this Pimp Cup has just followed me to every one of my offices. So when I got fired, they put this shit in a box and sent it home. So it came in the box with all my other paraphernalia from my office. They were like, get out, take it, and take your Pimp Cup and leave. They threw me out on my arse. But yeah, that's my wine. It's a very complex wine down that actually was not coherent.
I love that. That's an oldie but a goodie, man. You took me down memory lane with that. I saw that cup. I was like, oh my God.
Remember when we had the brother from Queen Sugar, your friend who lives in Atlanta?
Oh,
Omar. We had. That's how I met Omar. Was through.
He's been back on. He came on last year. He's doing amazing things. I mean, I just love that brother. He's so real.
Yes,
he's so down to earth.
From Broadway.
He's my homie.
Yes. What was the sister from Broadway that we had on? Oh my God.
I always get her name wrong. LaChance.
And I remember, because I have Broadway my kids love Broadway. So our middle son was so impressed with that. That was probably the impressed him the most that we ever did, was having LaChance, because she's so famous on Broadway, and they just love Hamilton, and they're like Broadway fans.
Oh, girl.
Those were the days. Carefree days.
So
weirdly enough, Trump was president at the time, but he was just an idiot, and people weren't really as fearful of him, I guess, for whatever reason. We were just laughing at him because he was such an idiot. But
He
I
was an
believe,
idiot, and he came off his end. He was figuring a lot of things out. He didn't have the people in place, and he didn't have the support, from reputable businesses and business leaders and the European community. He
yeah,
came back this time,
ready.
remember, because it's just so different. The designers that stepped up for the inauguration this time around compared to who did before,
Very
who
different.
came to the inauguration, major business people. I think that Project 2025 and the advisors, whoever, Stephen Miller, that crazy
Heritage
nutcase,
Foundation.
Heritage Foundation, all those people really thought it through.
Yeah.
Before they even said, we're going to prop you up to do another round as president.
Yeah.
This time it was different. It was
Yeah.
different this time, and he
Yeah.
is out to destroy the
Ready.
world like Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky in the brain.
He and
Except you don't have
Stephen
no
Miller.
brain.
I don't know who's Pinky and who's the Brain. I think Stephen Miller is little the little brain.
What is in my hair? Yeah, it's Pinky and the brain.
Crazy.
They're both. Then neither of them have a brain. But anyway, that's my wine down. What's your wine down, Cousins of the Store Friend? And what you drinking?
I am drinking one of my favorites. It is sparkling water and pomegranate juice, just with some ice. I'm holding it like you can see it, but here it is. And let me turn off the fries. Non-alcoholic bitters that I love. It's alcohol free. You all can see it there. I put drops of that in there just for fragrance and a little bit of flavor. So I love this so much. Yeah. I love that the top of your shirt says F Trump, F ICE.
Free Palestine, free DC, unoccupied Chicago, free Portland, free Minnesota. This is the new version of the shirt. Free Minnesota was added. Free Puerto Rico, Libertad, Puerto Rico, free Congo, free Ukraine, free Sudan, end poverty, stop the wars, end misogyny, end racism, and then embrace all our people, immigrants, the gays, the bis, all the people, and that's it. And then it just says the Georgia.
I love this. So we can get that on your merch store, which is at joyannereed.com, correct?
Yep, shop.joyannereed.com. If you want one of these, you can get it.
I love that. I love that so much. So my wind down is that I survived the winter storm that here in Atlanta was not as bad as we thought, but I'm happy to say that, our producer Camille and I were talking about how people give, meteorologists a really hard time when the storm is not as impactful as their predictions and their warnings. And, if you worked in local news, it's like, it is like the weather, get ready for Stormageddon 2026. And it's just like, I worked in a lot of local newsrooms. I know you did too. And so it's just like, it just is what it is. But the thing is, you want to be prepared just in case, right. So I had all the things. It turned out not to be as bad in my, I'm kind of in eastern Atlanta, in the eastern metropolitan Atlanta area.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't as bad. It was worse last night after all the rain and stuff started falling because it's like 16 degrees outside.
And the ice.
Yeah, but the ice, has melted because yesterday was a really sunny day. So it really wasn't as bad. But girl, I'm telling you, going to the grocery store in Georgia at times like this is just, it is something else, girl. People, and it's funny how when you're vegan, you don't really worry about things not being there because you're not getting eggs, you're not getting milk, you're not getting all the meats and things. You just walk, plenty of tofu,
nobody wants that.
Vegetables, plenty of beans. All the things that we need are there. And then if you're health conscious on top of that, you're not getting all the processed sugary cereals and quick fix things. So it just makes it so much easier. I was talking to my vegan girlfriends and we were all just touching base. You guys ready? And it was like, yeah, so crazy at the grocery store, but we go to our healthy grocery stores where there's not a crowd. There's plenty of food. It's a whole different
it's the
thing.
one moment where being a vegan is an advantage because don't nobody want that tofu but y'all.
Listen, you be wise to lean into it while y'all are, dying from heart attacks trying to shovel snow because you eat so much processed food.
Look, let me tell you something.
And getting arm cramps as you're trying to scrape ice off your windshields. There's that things do too when you're health conscious. You also can survive better in certain situations because your mind is clear.
Yeah.
Right. And your body is healthier. So you're not out there passing out and just saying, Lord, just take me. Just take me, Lord.
Take me, Lord. And it wasn't as bad in Atlanta, but it was bad. I mean, 10,400 flights, I think, canceled. I have some friends that got trapped on the other coast and they've gone to Sundance. People are from trains, planes getting canceled. Here we had like lots and lots of snow. Nala loved it because she's a snow dog.
Yeah.
She enjoyed it. But the slippery ice, like now the snow is hardened into just a slick ice field. So she's slipping and sliding, trying to go pee. And it's a lot. It was a lot. It was actually a pretty bad storm of this direction.
Oh, yeah. In other places, in other parts, like in northern Georgia, they had snow and there was significant damage and power outages and things like that.
Texas, too. I hit hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Ted Cruz left again, by the way. Ted Cruz was like, oh, I'm out. He went to California.
He always leaves. I don't know if he has arthritis, if he has some kind of condition that is worsened by the cold, like a really sickly person. He can't do cold weather. I don't know. I wonder what's going on with him when it comes, or if he's just allergic to being a helpful politician, right? And serving his constituents in the time of need, in the highest time of need. He's like, you know what? Too many people are going to be calling and emailing me. I'm just gonna go somewhere to where people live that I want to deport.
It's that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't think he has arthritis. I think it's the latter.
Well, I don't know. But the people keep putting him back in office.
Well, I mean, just because your political leader is an asshole doesn't mean you too are not an asshole. And I say that to the voters of Texas who keep reelecting Ted Cruz, because maybe they too are assholes.
What's interesting though, and I would love your take on this. I almost kind of know what it is, but I wonder if it's changed as of late. Because so many people continue to come out on social media, which is interesting to me. These confessions of, I regret my vote, right? I voted for Trump all 3 times, but now I see, right? And I'm sorry. I apologize for what I've done. And I wonder, like, I've seen people on social media who are like, listen, welcome into the fold. We forgive you. We welcome you because we need an army. We need everybody. But then there are a lot of people who are like, F you, right? We don't, you caused this problem. We don't forgive you. Howard, because I know you were in the latter column. For the most part, because more and more people are coming forward, and with everything that's going on in the world, like what's happening in Minneapolis specifically, a lot of people, even Republicans who have been, not that they're turning on Donald Trump, but they're speaking out against him,
right,
for the first time since he's been on this journey as president. And it really is interesting. Do you feel like things are? I'm changing my question now. Do you feel like things are turning against him with his party, or no, it's just a momentary thing?
I think that things are turning against him. I think what you're seeing is the vultures are starting to circle. His poll numbers are terrible. Yeah. Even people who are pro deportation are really unsettled by watching a toddler get detained in his little backpack with his little fuzzy top hat. I think the killing of these 2 white Minnesotans, a mom of 3, and an ICU nurse who worked at the VA. They're making bad choices in the Trump regime. And I think they're turning most people off. But I do think a third of the country will always be with him. No matter what he does, there's nothing you do. And whenever somebody says, I voted for him 3 times, but now I see, what I say is, okay, in 2016, you voted for him after the tape came out where he said he could grab one by the P word. So that was your first round. That didn't stop you. And then he said he was going to do mass deportation, a Muslim ban, and then he actually did a Muslim ban. He banned all Muslims, and he was vulgar, embarrassing. He went to Helsinki and sided with Russia over our intelligence services. He gave out classified information to the Russians inside the Oval Office with no media present. And that all happened in his first term. So then when the second time came around for you to decide whether you're going to vote for him, you knew all that first stuff, right? And he lost, and then he did an insurrection. He literally tried to overthrow the government.
Yeah.
And I mean, he told his people to basically
storm the Capitol.
Right. Yeah. So that he could stay in office. So that was round 2, right? And also, by the way, I forgot to even mention in that first round, he killed 1 million people with COVID. Like I don't say he killed them, but he was responsible for 1 million deaths because he mishandled the one job he had was handle emergencies. He mishandled the pandemic and 1 million people croaked, and probably maybe some of your friends and family. And all these businesses shut down and the economy tanked because of his mishandling of the economy. So you knew that he left office with a crap economy, a recession, and 1 million people with their death warrant signed. So then when the third time came around, for you to vote for him again, you knew about all the things I just said previously, and you voted for him again. So how I feel about those of you who are like, I'm a triple Trumper, I voted for him 3 times, but now I see. My question is, well, what about what he's doing now is worse than what he did before that you suddenly see? Is it just because you're uncomfortable with what ICE is doing? You don't like seeing a little kid getting detained, and it makes you uncomfortable, makes you feel icky in your spirit to see him to see ICE and Border Patrol shooting people. There's one more injured as of the time we're doing this podcast. That's making you uncomfortable. So with those of you who did that and are saying, please forgive me, I say trust but verify. I will not believe anything that any of you say until the next election. And I see, do you vote again? Because he's going to try to run again. Or do you vote for JD Vance? Like, the real test is not what you say on social media or what you say on your blog. It's what you do. The next time a Republican candidate is on your ballot, you're going to vote for him, right? The next time it's AOC versus JD Vance. Who are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for JD Vance. Like I just don't believe you. I think that you've shown that you have a very high tolerance for racism, sexism, misogyny, sexual abuse. You voted for him the third time knowing a jury of his peers said he sexually abused a white woman, E.G. and Carol. Basically grabbed her by the P word in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. Now, you knew that, and you still, so my thing is, you're taking in a lot of information and then still voting for him. So I don't believe you until a ballot is in front of you with AOC's name on it and JD Vance, or AOC and Trump, or Trump tries to stay in office. What are you going to do? If he tries to just stay, most of those people are going to support it. I'm sorry to say, most of them are full of shit. They're going to vote for the same crap, the same Republican. These are the people who vote for Ted Cruz and then tell pollsters they hate Ted Cruz, and then they turn around and vote for Ted Cruz again. So it's a habit problem with these conservatives, and they all claim to be Christian. These Christian conservatives are not reliable. Them hoes ain't loyal to democracy.
Yeah. Well, with that, let's transition into Ish You Need to Know, and let's start talking about, the stories going on in the headlines, which are pushing a lot of people to change their mind about Trump. I don't know if they're really doing that, but more and more people are speaking out. And I feel like it's because there's been a lot of misinformation. Like, a lot of people who voted for Trump all 3 times. I haven't seen numbers on this, but I would guess, if I had to guess, that most of them watch Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a certain algorithm, the algorithm is working to send them things that, perpetuate a certain type of thinking. And so they have no way of knowing, right, the things that you and I know, the things that all the sane people know about the realities of who Donald Trump really is. And now this time around, it's not just Fox. I hate that I call them Fox News, but it's not just that Fox network, but it's all the rest of mainstream media, for the most part, not all, but so many, like CBS News, who have betrayed us all based on what CBS used to be and used to stand for. and now they're part of the whole machine that is feeding misinformation to the world. It's horrible to see, but that's why we're here, to talk about what is really going on
with our pimp cup.
with a pimp cup, truthfully. And so listen, by the time this airs and by the time we're recording this show, it's been days since ICU nurse Alex Preddy was murdered right in the street, just gunned down by, I don't know if it was Border Patrol, ICE,
Border Patrol,
federal goons, right? Let's just call them federal goons that have been let loose in Minneapolis and other parts of Minnesota. Here is the video here where you can see a woman being pushed down, and he's trying to protect her. He's immediately sprayed with some kind of chemical. I don't know what they're carrying around. Then they start wrestling with him, and there are more and more of these goons that come around him as he, down to the ground. From this angle, you can't see them take away the gun that he had a permit to carry. Mm-hmm. They took it away, and right after they took the gun, and there's the shots. And I think it was 10 shots. And I know you all have probably seen this a million times, but it's just one of those things where you can't see it enough. Like, we can't talk about this enough. Even though we want this to be a safe space for you guys and we don't want to overwhelm you with all the news, you want to kind of have an escape. It also is important to us that you all be informed about what's going on in the world, because we can't turn away. We can't turn away. So with that, so much has happened in the news. As Joyanne just said, there was, as we were getting ready to start recording this show, we learned about another shooting, this time in Arizona, and apparently someone's in the hospital in critical condition. I don't know if it's Border Patrol or ICE or it's a federal goon, apparently, that's responsible for this injury. So we're waiting to get more details about that. I don't know if we'll report it here, but as far as this, just giving you the information, we don't have all those details because it's just happening as we come up here. But, a lot of, it right after Alex Preddy was killed, Trump's people came out, Kristi Noem and some others, Stephen Miller, what's the FBI director's name? Like, all of them came out, and Trump, and Kash Patel, Trump really kind of underscored everything that they said, basically calling this guy who was killed a domestic terrorist, saying he brandished a gun, all these things, just the lies, Joyanne, because it happened on a Saturday. They were all on Sunday morning shows trying to control the narrative, lying. Well, as we're recording this show today, Donald Trump has met with the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, and the mayor of Minneapolis. And he's saying they were great calls, and they're walking back their comments of calling this guy a terrorist. And they're all saying, we're going to work something out. They fired, what's his name? Greg Badant. What's his name? The guy.
They fired Greg Bovino. They just removed him from Minneapolis.
Yeah. People are saying he was fired, and just people, it's not official, but people are saying that he's been fired, but he has not been. Joyanne is correct. They're moving him somewhere else. I'm not happy, Joyanne, with what I feel is what the Democrats always do. They are in a position to control the narrative here, right? The world is watching. Mm-hmm. Everyone, because they were able to capture on video and have photographs of what happened when this man was murdered in the street. You have fellow Republicans of Donald Trump's, business leaders, international leaders, all kinds of people are coming forward and saying, okay, this is too much. The way you all are doing this is too much. So they meet with Tim Walz, they meet with the mayor of Minneapolis, and now they're talking about, okay, it's going to get better, but it's not. This man, Trump, is like Lucy with the football.
Yeah.
You cannot trust him. And I feel like unless they're saying ICE has to leave this state completely, which they're not planning on doing, Kristi Noem is fired. They have to have warrants and identify themselves when they show up anywhere, right? And they have to take off these masks. I mean, I just don't know. I just have this feeling that the Democrats are going to back down when they could control the narrative in this situation and really get something substantive when it comes to either defunding ICE or really changing the way they're operating in this moment.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is, you know, President Barack Obama, during his 2 terms, under his watch, 3 million people were deported.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear one story like what happened to Renee Nicole Good or to this 37-year-old ICU nurse, Mr. Alex Preddy? Did you just go back and go in your memory banks and ask yourself, did you hear any stories like this? And the answer would be no. And this despite the fact that the same guy who's in charge of deportations, the deportation czar in both cases, was the same person, Tom Homan. So ask yourself, why is it that when same guy, Tom Homan, is over deportations and the policy is the same, I believe Trump at this point, they've deported a little under 2 million people. Why is it that you never heard any stories like this under Obama?
All right.
And how is it that they managed to do deportations, which, number one, were 100% done through the judicial process? So those 3 million people went to a court hearing. They were detained. They went to a court hearing. They had their cases adjudicated. In many cases, they won their case and were not deported. But in the case where they were deported. These deportations went through a system. They went through a process. They weren't going door to door and snatching people off the street. They still managed to do, and their deportations were actually of people with criminal records. They weren't just the lady down the street or the guy at the construction site or a U.S. citizen or
at Target
or a person with a green card. How come the same apparatus worked so seamlessly and quietly and he was getting flack for it? Remember, Latinos were so outraged by President Obama's acceleration of deportation leading into the 2012 election. That's when they really ratcheted it up, because Obama was trying to get a deal with Republicans to do an immigration bill. We haven't had a new immigration bill since the 80s. Our immigration system is almost older than all of our interns on this show. Our immigration system is older than all my kids. That's how old all my grown children are older than our immigration system. The last time we had a really robust immigration bill, it was in 1965 that got enacted in 1968. That's how old our immigration system is. So it's almost as bad as the legislation on the books to deal with AI and tech, which barely exists as well. So the reason that Trump is losing on this issue, he's now deeply underwater on immigration, which was his strongest issue when he got elected the last time. His strongest issue was close the border and deport people. He's losing on that. Why? Because this specter of American cities being occupied by paramilitary forces who are going door to door, banging in people's doors. That Asian man who was taken out of his house almost naked, he's a Hmong man whose family came here as refugees because they helped the United States during the Vietnam War. He's a refugee because of us, because we decided to go do the Vietnam War, and a lot of Hmong people were caught in the middle of the war, and if they helped us, they were allowed to come here because they would have been executed by the government that took over after we fled because we lost the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
I mean, the things that they're doing, I think, are so outrageous that even people who are hardliners on immigration are disgusted. They're disgusted with the pictures and the images coming out of it. So he's losing on it. And the last thing I'll say is, as to the Democrats, recall Obama did that because Democrats largely support strict immigration laws. They just are less harsh and extreme as far as dealing with the border. But Democrats have an incoherent message because they support ICE. Most of them voted to create ICE. Most of them were in favor of ICE, and they don't want to defund ICE. And when you present them with the opportunity to do it, most of them say no, because they're also terrified of being called liberal commies who are against immigration reform. So we don't have on the pro-humanity side a party with the cojones or with even the ideological consistency to do what needs to be done, which is very, very simple. The Senate is about to consider a bill to renew the record funding for the Department of Homeland Security, which is not in the Constitution. Yeah. It's only existed since the 9/11 attacks, 2001. That agency has been funded, and ICE specifically, larger than the armies of most countries in the world. They could cut that funding off. It wouldn't cut the current funding. They still have money in the bank from what these fools gave them before. That's what they're spending, like $120 billion. They could vote, the Senate, when they get back, they could vote to say no more funding, cut them off, and say when your funding runs out, your funding is now zero. That you don't have to defund it. You don't even have to get rid of it. If y'all, right. First of all,
they're not going to do it. They're not going to. I'm not setting myself up for failure. They're not
going to. I promise you, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The bill's going to come up. About 5 Democrats are going to vote. 5 or 6 of them are going to vote no on the funding. The 2 senators from Minneapolis, Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith, they're already on the record. They're going to vote against it. Elizabeth Warren is going to vote against it. I think we can count on Elizabeth Warren. And there may be like 3 others. I think my man from Connecticut, we can count on him. And I think the Maryland senators will vote against it. So you'll probably get like 6 of them, right? Chris Murphy, definitely going to vote against it. The brother from Maryland, the white guy from Maryland who went down to see Abrego Garcia, he going to vote against it. So like,
but not Cory Booker.
Nope.
Not Cory Booker.
No one who wants to run for president.
Not Chuck Schumer.
Nope.
He's not planning on running for president, but he won't do it.
Nope. Nobody who wants to be president will vote for it. Neither the Connecticut, neither of the Delaware senators, Chris Coons and the other one, will vote for it. What you're going to have is Democrats are going to get close to stopping it, but then they're going to fail again and it's going to get funded. That's what's going to happen. Set yourselves up. Don't set yourself up for disappointment. They're never going to defund ICE.
It's so annoying, and while all this is going on and we're watching this play out politically, there's a lot of conversation on social media from a lot of Black journalists, people that are considered influencers on social media who are upset because a couple of things. They see the outrage across the country from people that we talked about that are now speaking out, changing their mind about supporting Trump. There are a lot of celebrities that are now, they're at Sundance. They were criticized for not saying anything at award shows previously this year. Now everybody has something to say. And, oh, by the way, I've never said anything, but F ICE, F Donald Trump, like it almost feels performative. Yes. But there are a lot of people that are speaking out, and a lot of Black people, not all, but a lot, are upset because it's like, we've been dealing with this for a long time, right? We have been dealing with this for a long time. They talk about how Renee Good and Alex Preddy, that they didn't get medical aid, Tamir Rice, the young boy that was gunned down, they just left his body sitting there while they were, no one rendered aid to him right away. He didn't just die instantly, according to reports. So there's a lot of outrage, and rightfully so. I saw Charles Blow posted something where he talked about it. A lot of people are really upset about that. And there are a lot of white people who are kind of like, well, I just don't get this. I don't get why we can't all just come together and, and defeat, this fascist. Why can't we stand together? That was then, this is now. But then there are some who are like, wow, this is what Black people have been trying to tell us, or saying now they're treating us just like they treat Black people. They treating us like, what's up with that? And it's like I always say, I don't care how liberal your white friend, white coworker is, if it comes down to whether or not they are going to be treated like you, they're going to look the other way every time. There might be some, I'm not going to say every time, but there are many white people who consider themselves liberal. A lot of them are in Hollywood that don't want to lose that privilege. They enjoy it. They enjoy that privilege. They don't want to lose it. But there's some Black people that are out there saying, hey, listen, we don't have time to, okay, fine, you're right, but let's just all come together and move forward. And I think you can do both. I think you can be outraged. And I think white people need to acknowledge that that outrage. They don't need to ignore it and just say, hey, can't we get past all that? Because we've been getting past all that for years, right? To make you all comfortable. But it really is an interesting conversation that's happening on social media in the midst of all of this craziness that's happening.
Well, I mean, Black people have always tried to tell our white friends that whatever they do to us, they're eventually going to do to you.
Yeah.
They Tamir Rice, Renee Good, or I should say they Philando Castile'd her,
Yeah.
they when they do it, they're going to do it to him. They're going to eventually do it to somebody white, they shot that man in his car and shot her in her car. They Trayvon Martin and left him in the street like Trayvon. Like they eventually you let them get away with doing it to us. They taught Mir Rice, Alex Pretty. Like, so it's like you can try to ignore it when they do it to us, but just know eventually they're going to do it to you. At this point, they're so bold and desperate to complete the total Project 2025 takeover of the United States that they're even murdering white people in the street in their own neighborhoods. That is where we are. They have gone way past the point where they're just limiting the violence to Black and brown people. They're killing white people, which means that this is DEFCON 1 fascism. They are now trying to suppress the entire population, not just the minorities, the whites too. So you can come together or not. I'm just telling you that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's
do what you want, but this isn't fascism that's on its way. It's fascism that's already here. It already lives in your house. It's moved into your bedroom. It's folded up your sheets and put them on the floor, and it's sleeping in your bed. Like fascism is using your toiletries. It's brushing its teeth with your toothbrush. It already has moved into your home like an Israeli settler, and it's telling you no longer live on this farm, and those olive trees belong to it.
And it is allowed to grow in the way that it does because it is rooted in the racism of this country that started with Native Americans.
Yep, they said with this
it is the racism that existed when they kidnapped us and brought us here and enslaved us. It is and white people, if you stood by while they tried to erase history, from the books about what really happened during slavery in this country. If you've ignored the way that they have, the gentrification of neighborhoods, all the things that have been happening over the years. I mean, it's just such a long list of things that white people are well aware of that happened to Black people, but they have turned a blind eye. Then you have been a part of what we're experiencing now. And if you want to get rid of it, it's not just about removing Donald Trump, because this is bigger than him, right? And his cronies. It is the underbelly of this country, and it is facing that once and for all and dealing with that.
Have you seen the video? It's actually it's not funny, but it's funny that there's a video of a guy in Wyoming, white guy, who calls 911 on his Amazon delivery driver because the Amazon delivery driver is speaking Spanish. He's in Wyoming, and he starts berating the Amazon guy for speaking Spanish, and then says his next call is going to be to ICE. And he's out there with his dog demanding that ICE come and pick up this guy. And the guy's in Spanish being like, "What is the problem? He's like, I don't even understand what's happening. Why are you so upset?" And then he says to him at the end, "This isn't Colorado. This is Wyoming." Many people in the comments pointing out, about 10% of Wyoming used to be Mexico. So where you're standing, buddy, is probably ex-Mexico. So, so that guy's actually speaking the original and more like what was the native language. I mean, not, it was indigenous was the native language, but whatever indigenous language was there. But he's probably closer to the origins than you, So it is that kind of arrogance of saying, I'm in Colorado, everyone speak English. It's like, yeah, well, that was Mexico. So was all of California. So, know. How that goes.
I know. Well, listen, we have a great
all indigenous anyway. It's all stolen. It's stolen by the Spanish.
But all of it. People want to
stolen
lean into this country is so great. It's the greatest country on earth, but they don't want to acknowledge the history of what made America built it to having the strongest economy in the world. On the backs of what and who. And so it's just, girl, I can't. Well, moving on, because we have great guests joining us shortly. Because we're starting our book club very soon. Well, no, this is the show where we started, so we're going to talk about that in just a bit. But let's talk about these Oscars, cousin. Okay, so let me get started because I know you have a lot to say. So the Oscar nominations came out since we last met. Sinners is dominated the nominations and makes history with 16 nominations, right? Setting the record for the most nominations for a film in Oscar history. And just FYI, the movies holding the title before All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land with 16 nominations each that they got during their time. Coming in at number 2 is Joanne's favorite film, One Battle After Another. Both are Warner Brother films. And just let me just quickly go through this. So Best Picture, it's been nominated for that. Best Director, Ryan Coogler nominated. Best Original Screenplay, Best Actor, Michael B. Jordan. Best Supporting Actress, Naomi Osaka, favorite. Best Supporting Actor, Delroy Lindo.
Yes.
One of her favorite actors. Best Original Song, Raphael Sadiq. And Ludwig, I can't pronounce his name, but this guy who went to graduate school with Ryan Coogler, who does this music for all of his movies. Interestingly enough, I think he's Swedish or something like that. Best Original Score, Best Costume Design, Ruth Carter, who also is making
He's
history.
the most nominated Black costume designer, I think.
Most Black nominated woman in the history.
Oh, his woman in history.
Most nominated period. It might be just woman. I don't know if it's Black woman or just woman. But we love Ruth Carter. Best Production Design, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Casting, which is a new category this year, Best Film Editing, Best Sound, Best Visual Effects, and Best Cinematography. So 16 chances to win. So we will see.
It's going to win that visual effects thing. That scene that you said was you didn't love the outcome of it.
I love the scene, but I wanted the ancestors to do something.
Actually do something. But that scene, I think, wins them that. I think they're hands down. You know what I was surprised though? I don't know if you were surprised by this because of the best costume category. I was surprised that isn't where they went for Wicked for Good. Wicked for Good got shut out. And the one place I thought they would actually get a nomination, I didn't think they would necessarily get a nomination for Best Picture or for the acting or whatever. I thought it was a good film. It wasn't as good as the first Wicked. I think it was a good film. But I really thought they were going to get something for costume. That the brother who did the costumes, he actually was a judge on you're either in or you're out.
Project Runway.
Well, he appeared on Project Runway. He wasn't one of the judges, but he was a guest judge on there. And he is so talented. I was shocked that he didn't get nominated.
Yeah. Oh, I love Project Runway. Yep. That movie was snubbed. Cynthia Erivo snubbed. Dwayne Johnson was also snubbed for his performance in The Smashing Machine. You know, he lost all this weight for this role. And you know how if you change your appearance, boy, you're gonna get to the Oscars. That usually gets it in.
The Rock ain't getting nothing. They never
get nothing. But our girl Tiana Taylor is one of the nominations for One Battle After Another for Best Supporting Actress.
Yes. So, I'm not surprised. I mean, once you win the Golden Globe, you're going to get nominated for an Oscar. Like that is going to happen. So I knew she was going to get nominated. But they did supporting. They did supporting. Yeah,
she was supporting for Golden Globes as well, just because of her time on screen. Gotcha. You know, remember, she's really just in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Leonardo DiCaprio, you'll be happy to know, was nominated for Best Actor.
And he deserves to be nominated for that.
He
was excellent. He was so good in the movie.
So
I would argue, he and the sensei were phenomenal in that film.
Yeah.
I mean, so was the guy who played the bad guy. He was actually, Sean Penn was good too.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was excellent. So it'll be interesting to see. The Oscars are happening on Sunday, March 15th. Conan O'Brien is hosting. I really wish they would get back to I'd love to see somebody Black host the Oscars.
Or just somebody, I mean, no offense to Conan, but I'm not expecting it to be that funny. And also Conan is a little safe politically. I'm like, you could have gone, if Kimmel had hosted it, I would have been so for that.
Right?
I'm like, give me Jimmy Kimmel. I would take Jimmy Kimmel if it's, or somebody like that, or somebody that's going to be a little bit, I think they were very safe in picking Conan.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that's a mistake given the climate of what's going on.
Yeah.
All eyes are going to be on them now now that celebrities are being pushed to speak
Colbert.
out.
Oh, wait, what network is it on?
I think it's still on ABC. I think
Okay,
it's on
ABC. They could have had Kimmel.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll be, I can't wait for it to go to YouTube to see how it feels different. I mean, that's not till 2029.
Yeah.
But I'm eager to see
If
how
America and movies still exist, then if they're not just all propaganda films about how amazing the Trumps are.
Yeah.
They are in Trump's Adventures, nominated for best.
Crazy.
Nominated for
We got a few other stories to get to, so I'm going to go through them quickly. One is our girl Naomi Osaka withdrew from the Australian Open after a bit of a controversy, but that's not why she withdrew. She withdrew because she had an injury that she was hoping would get better. But she had a bit of I think it was a Romanian tennis player. I don't remember her name, but when Naomi, when her opponent would serve and make a bad serve, Naomi would hype herself up and say, I can't remember what she said, like, okay, yes, which who doesn't do that? And it was after the girl served. It wasn't right before she served to break her concentration. But when I tell you, commentators, the media just really vilified this woman for doing that. And then she won the match.
Right.
It just really made me mad because Black women in tennis have really had such a hard time when it comes to how they're treated. I mean, listen, we could go all the way back to before Venus and Serena with Althea Gibson and all that she went through. But it's just, I'm just so sick of it. It's so blatant. And there are a lot of microaggressions that they have to deal with. But she seems to be doing okay. Mentally, I just am very protective of her because she's just such a special girl who just really is there for the love of the game. You know what I mean? And she's just, I don't know, because she apologized, and some people were upset that she apologized in the press conference after for disrupting this girl's concentration or whatever she was. But the judge even sided in her favor and was like, no, because the girl complained to the judge during the match.
Get over it. My sole comment on that is something you said earlier. We don't know the other girl's name.
Stop it.
Get over it. You lost.
Okay.
He's better
Kanye
than you.
has issued an apology.
Hater, you hate an ass hater. You lost.
Moving on to your favorite rapper, Kanye, who took out a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal to apologize for what he called a 4-month manic episode back in 2025. He says because of a car accident back in 2003, his brain is messed up, bipolar. He did an interview with Vanity Fair after he put out this full-page ad in which they interviewed him. Some questions he would not answer, but they had a neurologist really kind of follow up. I don't know if he treated Kanye or not, but they said, yes, what he's describing is a real condition. And the way he's been acting does match with the medical condition that he says is a result. I'm laughing at you, I'm laughing at you.
Ben said that man bipolar, and he was like, I'm not bipolar. Yeah, you are bipolar.
He is, bipolar. But he's basically saying, he's trying to get his drug right. He apologizes in a big way to the Jewish community. He has a little apology in there for the Black community, but he does apologize. And people were wondering, is this just a PR stunt? Well, he does have a new album coming out soon. And
scene.
It's called Bully.
My sole comment on this is that manic episode. Okay, yeah, you're bipolar. Got it. You sat down and wrote a song called Heil Hitler.
Right.
And it is, I think, a disparagement to everyone who suffers from bipolar disorder and who survives it, who manages to get through life without ever writing a song called Heil Hitler. So what I'm going to say is this is the same way that when one person is mentally ill and commits a crime, they say, aha, people who are mentally ill are prone to criminality. Not so. The vast majority of people who suffer from bipolar disorder, even if they had the ability to write music and write songs, would not write a song called Heil Hitler. But you did, Kanye. Yeah. You wrote a song called, so don't blame that on bipolar. Something in your spirit told you to write a song called Heil Hitler. Just like something in your spirit told you to take the time out of your busy life to get with Candace Owens and make t-shirts that themselves did not suffer from it. They were made by your team. You told somebody to make shirts that said White Lives Matter, and you and Candace put them on your body and wore them in public. So nobody, I think people with bipolar disorder, there are people who existed with bipolar. We probably all have them in our families. I don't know of any who would go out and say that slavery was a choice. That is something you said, it was in your spirit. And don't say bipolar made you say slavery was a choice, Kanye. At some point, you decided it was a good idea and good marketing for you to say slavery was a choice and to write a song called Heil Hitler. Don't be blaming that on bipolar. Bipolar people walking out here in the world doing none of those things. So you have a thing coming out. I get it. You don't want Jewish people to be mad at you. You want to get the pro-Zionist crowd back on your side or whatever. Whatever, man. I mean, you went to lunch with Trump and the little junior Birdman from Mexico that says he's a white supremacist, but his behind is Mexican. Nick Fuentes. You and the Mexican white supremacists went to lunch with Trump. Don't blame it on bipolar. You wanted to go to dinner or lunch with Trump and the Mexican white supremacists. That's what you did. Yeah. So I'm just saying, let's stop blaming bipolar for all things. Yeah. You're just not a nice person.
And he says he has a brain injury too. Says he, in addition to being bipolar, which is a condition, he says he also has a brain injury.
Is it called high Hitleritis? High Hitlerosis? How Hitlerosis? Make it say how Hitler. Make it write a song called How Hitler. I do believe he's bipolar now. I absolutely believe.
No, I absolutely believe.
I believe he has a brain injury. It's clear something wrong with him. We in the Black community have been saying there's something wrong with that brother. Stop interviewing him because there's something wrong with him. He's been saying no, I don't like taking my meds because I can't think and I can't write and I'm not creative. He's been the one that we know you're ill, Kanye. But again, I'm gonna say unless you got high Hitlerosis, and there's such a thing in the medical books. You decided.
High Hitlerosis.
You have high Hitlerosis?
Listen, time will tell. The fact that he has an album coming out, just like I wish that he would have made this announcement and then just quietly gone away.
Go right, but you trying to sell your album, and you know that the market of people who like Hitler is pretty small.
Yeah, because he has enough money, even with all the deals that were, canceled and all the money that he's lost because of his behavior. Yeah, particularly against Jewish people.
Love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah,
just he has enough. You don't want more.
He has enough money to go away and just be quiet and raise his daughter. His kids.
But they never have enough. If you have a lot of money, all you really want is more. He wants more money, and he wants the sneaker deals back, and he wants to be able to invite it to the Met Gala again, and he wants to be normalized. And for a time, having the Nick Fuentes, the Mexican white supremacists, and all those be on your side was useful to him for whatever he thought it was useful. And being with Trump and being pro MAGA and putting a MAGA hat on, that was useful for that season. And now he's decided it's not useful for his current marketing. So he's doing what he's doing, and good luck to him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Well, speaking of money, let's end on a yay Black Girl Magic note.
Wait, what is Nicki Minaj going to be diagnosed with? Magatitis?
I'm not even going. Don't bring that spirit into this.
Some pedophile.
Don't bring that spirit and energy into this podcast. No, ma'am. Not today. We're going to end on a positive note with some Black Girl Magic. The Dr. Pepper jingle creator. Her name is Romeo Bingham. She's 26 from Tacoma, Washington. She posted this song that she sang on TikTok, I think, which is now dead. God rest TikTok. And Dr. Pepper, came to her and they made a jingle put music and all the things to what she wrote. And neither have disclosed how much money she made. I heard 2 million floating around, but I haven't been able to confirm that. But she made millions apparently off of this deal. And she has other companies in her DMs trying to get her to write more jingles. And so, baby, content creators far and wide have been on social media coming up with all kinds of jingles and singing them, trying to get $1 million deals. And a lot of companies are looking at a lot of these jingles and they're trying to do what Dr. Pepper did. But it's a great song. It played during a college football championship game recently as a legit commercial. It's a great commercial. I'm so happy for her. I love when Black women do great things.
Good for her. God bless her. God
bless
and I love
her.
me some Dr. Pepper. Good.
Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Did it? That's the song.
It is good and nice. I love Dr. Pepper.
Girl,
so yummy.
We ain't drinking no soda. I'm happy for her, but Black people need to stop drinking soda. It's bad for you. It is poison.
It's good.
But good for her. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. All right. Coming up, you guys, we have
baby.
It's good and nice. Da-da-da. Don't drink it. We have a great guest coming up for you guys as we get ready to officially launch the Read This, Read That book club. Now, before we bring her up and tell you what this book is, let me say, if you read the description for the show, you probably already know, but let me act like y'all didn't read that. We're going to act like I didn't read that. So we're going to introduce the book today. Our guest is going to tell us when the book goes on sale and you can get it. So you can get the book. We're going to give a month to read it. And then our guest is going to come back and then we're going to talk about it. So Joyanne will be happy to know because I have started reading the book because I actually have an interview with this woman. We're going to do a book talk in a couple of days. So I had to start getting through it and it's good. Y'all, I'm telling you, you're going to love this book. But with no spoilers today.
Thank you.
But Joyanne will be very happy.
Today.
No Now listen. When she comes back in a month and we talk about the book,
spoilers.
We're gonna have to talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk to our guest about that. But you guys, I have known this woman for a long time, Joyanne. She is a colleague of ours. She is a longtime journalist, specifically in the magazine world. But she is well respected in the industry, and everybody loves this woman. She left us in New York and moved out to California, and is doing great things out there, including writing her first novel, which is called If I Ruled the World. And it is a book by Amy Dubois Barnett. And there she is. Hey, lady.
Hey, what's up, sorors?
Hey,
soror. How you doing?
What's up, y'all?
Listen.
What's up?
Page 1 is like, oh my God. People are talking about reading this in one sitting. Amy, welcome. Soror, it is perfect. This is our first book for the Read This, Read That book club. Thank you for letting us premiere this with your book, and you have great things going on. How are you doing? Because you have been all around the world. If I Ruled the World, you have been interviewing, you've been everywhere. How's it going?
It has been, first of all, I could not be more honored to be the first book of your book club. Like, I can't even tell you guys how much that means to me. So thank you both. I'm thrilled. And yeah, I mean, this has been the launch of launches. Like, the support that I've gotten has been tremendous. And I really appreciate it. This is one of those moments in your life, where you're like, okay, have you ever had a nice kind thought about me in the world? Please support. If I ruled the world. Like, if I ever touched your heart anyway, and people really have responded, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of press. It's been a lot of love.
Fabulous.
What's it been like for you? This is different from the work that you've done before. This is your first novel. And so doing the whole book tour thing, you're going to be in Atlanta in a couple of days, but you have been everywhere. And Joyanne knows about this world all too well because she has written several books.
I know, bestseller.
Yeah, right. Our in-house New York Times bestseller. I know her.
I don't have the books on my bookshelf.
What's it like? What's that been like for you wearing that hat and doing something different? I know it's exciting, but it's got to be a lot.
I mean, yes and no, right? So on one hand, it is another pivot in a career of pivots. I have gone through a lot of different, industries and also forms of media over the course of my career. And this is really, for me, another way of telling our stories. I've built a career around, representing communities that I care about, around, telling the stories of folks who may not easily have a voice. And, writing this novel is just again, another way for me to do that in a creative capacity. And honestly, it's the return to my original dream. I mean, I got an MFA in creative writing in my 20s, and I thought I was going to spend my life writing novels. And then I, needed to, like, I don't know, eat and have shelter over my head and stuff. And so started to work in media and developed a huge love for that, and had a 20, plus year, about to age myself, 20 plus year career in media. But then this story was just in my head. It wouldn't leave my mind. It felt really urgent, a few years ago. And so I circled back around to this. So, it is another way of telling our stories. It's a return to an original dream. And it's also an opportunity to learn something new. I love that. I love being on a continual journey.
Yeah. So talk about the book. Tell us, what is it about? Who are the characters? And are any of the characters maybe you in a fictionalized form?
Oh, here we go. I'm bracing myself. Y'all, because I wrote about, can I curse here? We curse?
Oh, you can.
Yes.
Oh my God. So listen, I don't know. I wrote about some gnarly shit in this book, and I am just bracing myself already. So many people have been like, "Son, was it you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, Dad." From page one, Jackie, like, I'm like, anywho, so it is not a romantic play. It's not my personal story, but let me tell you about the book. It is, If I Ruled the World is set in New York City in the late 1990s, early 2000s, at the intersection of music, really hip hop, magazines, and fashion. And you guys know this is one of the most important cultural moments of our lives. So the book is like a peek behind the curtain in that era. And we follow the journey of Nikki Rose, who's a young Black editor, in a fashion magazine, and she's not coming of age, because she's 29 when we first meet her, but she's coming of power, right, within these influential institutions, where stuff like, glamour, right, and romance and friendship, they coexist alongside misogyny and racism and a lot of danger, because this was a very scary time to be a woman in a lot of ways, specifically a Black woman and a Black ambitious woman. And, my protagonist, Nikki, is really like trying to decide, as her access grows, right, who she's willing to become and what she's willing to sacrifice in order to realize her dream. So she's trying to find her own voice and hold on to her very soul at the same time.
Yeah. And I want to, ask, for people who were in New York at that time, or who were in media at that time, this really speaks, right, to that group. But for everybody else, what's the, you need to read this book that you say, what's the pull for everybody else? And I mean, you kind of touched on it with the, oh my God, let me apologize to my father if this were about me, you know what I mean? But it's more than that. It's
juicy. It's juicy. If I Ruled the World is very juicy. It's a page turner, and I did that intentionally, right? Like, I wanted it to be an escape. Like, I wanted you to be like, take it to the beach, read it on a weekend, like stay up all night reading it. Like, I specifically wrote it for that, so it could be like a fun thing for all of us to enjoy, because it's a lot of romance. It's a lot of sex, you know what I mean? It's a lot of glamour, right? It's a lot of, sort of, again, like kind of BTS of this era, right? But you're also, reading about some of the things that, that era from a woman's perspective, right? So the stuff that you're hearing about, in the news, you may be seeing on TV, the reckoning, pun intended, that's happening in the music industry. That's a lot of what I'm writing about in this book as well, right? So it's very topical, so this is that era from a woman's perspective.
And that, I think, is what's so interesting, because I think a lot of us that are, we were alive during the 90s. We might have remembered things there. We were around a little bit. But it's like I feel like with the whole Puffy trial, the whole controversy of, and the things we now know, which we really kind of did know about R. Kelly and Bill, we'll leave Bill Cosby aside, that's more Hollywood. But in the music industry, I feel like we misremembered the whole thing. And now we're realizing what a dumpster fire my favorite decade was for women, right? Were you thinking that when you went into writing this, that there needs to be a woman's perspective, even if it's a fictional version of that perspective, about that era from us?
Right. And well, exactly. I mean, it's crazy, right? Because on one hand, it was a dumpster fire for women, right? We were subjected, I personally, and so many of my friends were subjected to all manner of sexual harassment, sexual violence, general misogyny, racism, just being dismissed, so many, so much, just a fun cornucopia of delights, that we were all subjected to. At the same time, it was one of the most sexy, fun times to be a part of culture that ever existed. I mean, I will not lie. I had a blast. I mean, I had a blast in a way. They were lit. It was lit, and it was lit in a way that I don't know how it's going to return, because we were so present. We weren't on our phones, and culture. It was a time when hip hop was synonymous with mainstream culture. It was, you had models on the runway and dookie chains, and do-rags, and you had, finance executives and other folks like trying to get into these album listening parties. And we felt that power. There was so much money, right? There was so much influence, and we were in the center of it, right? We were creating it, and we were also benefiting from it. So that era was also, what I wrote about. But at the same time, I mean, as a woman, there was no recourse. Like, who was I going to go to? HR, right? Like, there was nobody to talk to about what was happening to me. And because it was such a prevalent part of culture, we just all kind of accepted it. So it was all of those things.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned earlier, you have worked in so many aspects of media, including television. You were at BET for a time. But when I first met you, you were at Honey Magazine, right? And as the editor-in-chief there of that amazing magazine, and went on to do other, Teen People, other work in magazines. And now that industry is just all but dead, right? It's dying. And I wonder how much of this is a love letter to just the mag. I was a magazine girl. When I was in high school, when 17 came out, baby, just to hold a magazine, like I miss that, right? Even when Essence was the like getting it and opening it and you're right. And I just I loved that. I love that time. And it's I can't tell you a lot, aside from the Atlantic, the last time I've held a magazine just for pleasure and for the culture, right? And I wonder how much of that was on your mind as you were writing. Kind of a love that.
I feel so seen. Because in my heart, I am a magazine maker. I really am. I mean, I did sort of switch to digital after a while, and and I love those genres too. But just the feeling of creating a piece of art, every month or every week or whatever the cadence is in the magazine, there was a permanence to it, right? And it was also something that for me really satisfied the dichotomous natures of my personality. Like, I obviously love the written word. I love, text, but I'm very visual, so I liked, creative directing the cover shoots. I like creative directing the fashion shoots, coming up with palettes, coming up with concepts. I mean, I really loved all of that. And I also loved that most of the magazines that I ran or worked for allowed me to be a generalist. I love fashion and beauty and travel and health, but I also love politics and social issues and other topics that are very meaningful to communities that I care about, right? So being able to do all of that in magazines, I mean, was special to me. And yes, I mean, this book is If I Rule the World is set during the heyday of magazines. And I wanted people to feel that as well, what it was like in working in an industry that was, so important. It was so influential, and covers could make or break a celebrity, when you were working in these environments where the jobs were very sought after, and there were pressure cookers because there was so much at stake, you know what I mean? And they were sexy, and it was glamour, and, it was really a time. And so, yes, I mean, this book is absolutely a love letter, to the heyday of magazines, to the heyday of hip hop. To New York City.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Talk about the villain. Who's the villain in the book? What can we expect from the villain?
Well, the biggest.
Don't spoil it for Joyanne, though.
I'm not going to spoil it. Joy, I can't wait for you to read this book.
Just generally.
I can't wait for you to read this book. Okay. So there are a few antagonists, right? But the one that we meet first, and the sort of biggest antagonist that we're going to see throughout the book, is a gentleman named Alonzo. And I have read an excerpt, on the socials. So I I can say this. Alonzo,
is he doing air guns at Alonzo? Did you just air guns?
Yes, he is deserving of air guns. Wait, Jackie, I don't know how far you are into the book, but just you wait. Just you wait. So Alonzo is the married boss of my protagonist, who she is sleeping with. And it turns out that he is also a friend of her mother's from high school. So it is a hot mess. He's twice her age. I mean, the power dynamic is messed up. And he turns out to be antagonist because he ends up blaming her, for being kicked out of his professional ivory tower. And even though it's not her fault, he blames her. And turns into an incredibly powerful enemy for her to contend with as she's building her own career.
Juicy. All right.
Juicy, yeah. All manner of stuff. Always is. And as it turns out, as a related side note, I can write the hell out of a sex scene now.
Okay. Now, how weird was that to you? What that mean for you? Was it
so weird? Had I ever written a sex scene? I don't know that I've ever written a sex scene before writing this book. And so like the first one came about and I was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, oh wait, okay, Amy, like you can really write the heck out of a sex scene. So, it's my protagonist, she makes a lot of unhealthy decisions, we'll say, about men throughout the book. And it's only when she really finds her voice and comes into her own power that she's able to make some better decisions, as it relates to men. But along the way, there are a bunch of different men that we will meet who with whom she interacts, with whom she gets to know in the biblical sense.
I told you. It's on fire. It is on fire. Okay. So congratulations are in order, Soror, because before the book is even officially released, our girl got a TV deal. And Lee Daniels is actually going to produce and I think co-write the script for this series. Is it a series? Is it a movie? What is it? I know the deal is with Hulu, but congratulations on that.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. Like, thank you so much. I mean, you guys know what that entails, right? Like, it's so much work. And the fact that, so what happened was that my book was discovered by a book scout and then given to a very powerful Hollywood executive who read it, loved it, and gave it to Lee Daniels, who read it, loved it. Fast forward, we now have a development deal for the television adaptation to a series, with Hulu, and Lee and I are co-writing the pilot. And I'm just very optimistic, because when I wrote this book, I mean, I saw all of the scenes like play out in front of me. I told you I was visual and I could just see it like play out like a movie, right? And the book, when you read it, it's very, there's a lot of details in it. There's a lot of texture. And so I always thought that this should be on screen. I always wanted to be on screen. And now to have the opportunity to make that happen it's very surreal to say, honestly.
Amazing.
I'm excited about that. I want to know if you started to think about characters like actresses and actors.
Yes, I have.
Who? Please spell T.
Okay. Well, so I'll tell you. So for Nikki Rose, my protagonist, my main character, I have a couple Z's in my head. I got a couple Z's in my head, right?
Let's manifest. Come on.
I'm manifesting the Z's, right? So, what plays in my head a lot, like Zendaya. I don't know if you guys even know what I'm talking about here, but there's a one scene, not scene, but there's a like an informal video that has been posted and rewatched so many times now of her like lip syncing to Beyonce in her car. You know what I mean? I have watched that an unhealthy number of times.
And the beat got set there. Beyonce.
I've seen that so many times. I don't even know what's wrong with me. I love her for this part, but I don't know if she's doing TV shows as much right now. Right. Do you know what I mean? The other actress who I love, I have such a creative crush on, Zazie Bates.
Ooh.
I love
her. Her work in Atlanta.
I love her in Atlanta. She was so great in like Bullet Train, Deadpool. Like she's smart, she's funny. She's beautiful, but she's also like relatable. You know what I mean? Like she's clearly Black, like clearly down, but like also quirky, which is a lot of what my protagonist is. And so she's on my vision board. I'm saying her name so much lately. Actually, I'm hoping maybe she'll see it.
Right. Well, look, maybe she'll watch the episode, and maybe she'll be like, "Aha! I'm inspired."
You know what I mean?
Fabulous.
You know who else is good? And
Tell me,
along
please.
those lines, well, let me throw that out there because I watch a million TV shows. What's the actress who played in Game of Thrones, Joyanne? I don't know if you were a Game of Thrones girl, Amy.
Me? Are you kidding? I've seen it the entire series like twice.
Natalie Emmanuel.
You know what? I
Wait,
love
who's
Natalie
that?
Emmanuel so very much. It's an age thing, and it's like
yeah.
it's. I love her. I love her. I
Oh,
love her to
yeah.
pieces.
Yeah.
But no, she is one of my faves. I adore her.
Yeah.
It's and I think I looked at her,
Okay.
but my the person who plays Nikki has to play somebody who's like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And that makes it hard to cast a few people who I really, really, really love. You know what I mean? So I can't remember. I think she was a little older, and I could have this wrong, but I think that was the issue when I looked at her, because I'm a Game of Thrones super fan. So
Yeah.
yes,
You come to the right place.
The ending.
yes, I am. I
Except for
like
the
when she was like at the end when she was like Dracarys.
Oh, let me tell you, we were so
Let me tell
into
you,
it when it
said,
was on.
I said it's on now.
Yes,
I said,
indeed.
it's on now.
Well, Amy, when will the book come out? Where can people find it? Let's let people know when they can, because this will air on Thursday when this is out, which I think the book is out at that point. When does it come out?
Yes. So the book, this is my pub. So my pub date is January 27th. That's yes. So
When we're taping this episode. Fabulous.
that is when we're taping this episode.
Congratulations.
Exactly.
Happy pub
Thank
day.
you guys. This is my pub date. It's my pub
Yeah,
date.
love it. Oh my goodness.
It's my pub date. It's my pub date. And so the book is available, wherever you buy books online. If I don't know where everybody's buying. I don't know where people are buying stuff right now that isn't like fraught with political,
I know.
layered with political disastrous stuff, but wherever
Yeah.
you buy books online, the book is available. It's also available at bookstores, Black-owned bookstores, Reparations Club, hit them up for the book.
Baldwin Books, try that if you're in New Orleans.
Yes.
Rashumba's, what's Rashumba's? Mahogany Books. Check
Yes,
Mahogany.
please do that. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of time over the winter break actually like DMing every Black-owned bookstore I could think of, like, hey, please carry my book. So I know it's available a lot of places. And I really appreciate the support. For those of you who don't know, it is, I mean, Joy, it's difficult. It's very difficult to get on the New York Times bestseller list. It's so very difficult, but it determines like not only your own success as an author, but how many books by Black folks, like publishers, are willing to take a risk on. And I'm unabashedly, hoping to make a bestseller list. And the first week sales really matter. So I really appreciate, everybody's support. If you are so inclined, please buy the book. Please tell a friend. Please post about it. I appreciate you.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, we will do our part,
Yes.
Amy. We love this. We're excited that this is our first book. And so
thank you, good people.
We're going to come back and we're going to actually talk about, how do you feel about spoilers? How do you feel about, like, at what point you feel comfortable talking about the details of, I mean, there are ways to talk in a book club.
There's ways to talk about it. I will definitely talk about stuff. I mean, and also I think, I've been doing this social series called Sunday Stories, where I read excerpts of the book, and I'm trying to find excerpts that aren't too revealing. At the same time, I've definitely revealed like sort of little bits and pieces here and there. So I can absolutely talk about I can talk about stuff in a way that doesn't ruin the book for folks.
Yeah.
But also, folks should buy the book
and then you
read it before you'll have a much better time, though.
There we go. Amen.
Definitely. Amy, congratulations on your pub day. Congratulations on your debut novel. Congratulations on the TV series. I know you put so much work into all of these things because you're just a born hard worker. Yeah. So, girl, congrats on everything.
Yes.
I really appreciate both of you so much. I am, honored to be here. I respect both of you to the ends of the earth. And so thank you guys. Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure to talk to you on my pub date. Thank you.
We love it.
All right, please.
Well, we'll see you back. I'll see you in a couple of days, and then we'll see you back here in about a month.
I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah, I'll see you on Thursday. Thank God the weather allowed it to happen.
Good.
Man, I thought the weather was not going to let me be great, but I think it's clearing up a bit.
Yes, it's gonna
It's
look
working in your favor, sis.
Amen.
Man.
All right, Amy, we will see you in a month back here to talk about the book for our book
Appreciate
club.
you guys.
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all right.
Bye.
That's
That's all.
all.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at God, girl.
Look at God. Look, that's a blessing.
Can we
First
choose a
book
book?
and
Can we
already
choose a book?
got the deal. Already got the deal. That's amazing. That is actually incredible.
And that's what you will get here on the Read This, Read That book club. Quality books.
Quality.
Books. Quality. We're not playing.
We're not playing.
So y'all go and get the book. And then we will, at a month's time, the end of February, we're going to have her back and we're going to talk about the book and we'll announce a new book and we'll just keep going, do a new book every month. It is official. We have launched.
Fabulous.
All right. Thank you, Amy, for joining us. She's amazing. I'm so excited about it. And this book is a page.
Lord Jesus.
Listen to me. It's good. It's juicy, as she said.
You see the lights just come on behind me automatically. You see apparently the ghosts in my house agree.
They're excited. They're all excited. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us for this episode of Read This, Read That. Please, as we said at the beginning of the show, like, subscribe, comment. We love hearing from you guys. We told you we're going to be doing bigger things in 2026. And there you have it with the launch of the book club. More things to come.
Amen.
Including our membership community. We'll be talking about that soon. So please support us, you guys, on this journey. We love our cousins. We love Cousin Nation, our family. We appreciate y'all. So hopefully you'll appreciate us back by liking, subscribing, leaving us a comment, thumbs up on YouTube, and telling your friends. Tell everybody that we're here so they can come and be a part of this wondrous cookout that we have every week.
Amen. Go cook out without the meat.
As it should be. Can I tell you that I went out and had to buy, not had to, but bought charcoal just in case the power went out. Because baby, we're going to be grilling.
What are you going to grill? You don't eat meat. What you going to grill?
Girl, you can grill. I don't know why. When you talk about veganism,
it's just a trigger. I do it on purpose.
It is like your Harvard degree is just like, you're like, let me just take that Harvard degree because I'm going to throw out all logic and anything that I learned.
If you're not grilling a pig, what's the point?
It's like
that pig on that grill and cook him.
This is the Harvard degree.
His name is Steve. Eat him.
His name is Dave.
His name is Dave. Eat that.
Babe. No, Babe. The pig.
Oh, babe.
See, don't be mad. Don't be doing that when you're reaching for bacon in the minute you get up. But no, I didn't even realize. I didn't think about this till I saw a video on social media where somebody was like, when it comes to boiling, if you lose electricity, right?
Yeah.
If you lose power and you can't heat up food. Girl, you can heat up water. You can put food in foil just like you would a microwave. Hopefully y'all are still using microwaves. I hope those things have been thrown out. But you can put it in foil, which is also bad, but you can warm things up on your grill. And so we were ready to do that. I'm glad that I saw that on social media. So I was like, that's a great idea. Let me go get some.
I ain't trying to be out in the freezing cold grilling. I'm sorry. I'll just be hungry.
Yeah, listen, I like to eat. I like to have my coffee and my mushroom potion in the morning and things like that. And in Georgia, it's not that cold. I mean, it's cold, but it's not like, it's not like we're in Alaska.
It's cold over here.
Yeah, it's not that cold here. So you can definitely go outside and grill. I mean, the day after the sun's out, I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty down here. So thank God. But anyway, you all, in addition to liking and subscribing and thumbs upping and all the things, please follow my soror sister cousin friend over here who, when she's doing other work, when she's not here, the Harvard degree shows up. It shows up in full force.
It's just
in full force. It's not here. No, here, but not when she's talking about
my safe space to be stupid. Come on. Where else am I gonna do it?
Go to joyannereed.com, you guys, where you can get that sweatshirt that she has on that we love so much, and so much other merch. And the shirt is being updated because so many things are happening.
We keep having to add more lines. I'm like,
you got to start going on the sleeves in the back.
Go down because he keep invading different places. This thing was done, and then we had to add another one, and then I added a cookie and a Ice Cube to make it fun, to make it distinct. But I'm like, how much more place he gonna invade? I ain't no more room.
Girl, you got Cuba on there yet?
Cuba on here. Oh, wait, is
Girl.
Cuba on here? No, Cuba ain't even on here yet.
I
Go
can't.
ahead and make another one.
I can make another one, but y'all, she's doing that. She has merch, but most importantly, she has a Joy Reid show, which you all really need to tune in and support and subscribe. As an independent journalist, she is out here doing the Lord's work. Like I said, the Harvard degree is in full effect when she is on that show. And she is taking no prisoners night after night, giving us the information that we need, keeping up with all that's going on in the world. I suspect she does not sleep. I'm glad that she does not do the show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I pray that I'm not going to hear, oh, I'm doing it 5 days a week. You know, I hope not.
No, I'm not. Not right now. What are you talking about? What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Don't start doing this show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are your, break days. Yeah, because there are no breaks being taken. But please support all that she does, you guys, because she's doing great things. And I always say all the time, Joanne is a national treasure. So we need to support. You are. So we need to support all that she does. So please just go to Joanne Reid. You can find her Substack. You can follow her YouTube, her social media, all from one place. She was so smart when she thought about this. I'm just like, oh, just all in one place. It's brilliant.
We're gonna consolidate all of your things, but until we consolidate all of the Jackie Reid things, you can go to the Jackie Reid experience, because the Jackie Reid experience, we get all the experiences that are about Jackie Reid, and you do need that. But before you even do that, you're gonna need to get those Jackie Reid weekly health tips, because Jackie is trying to make sure that you go into 2026 healthy, and you know, health is wealth. So if you're healthy, you're wealthy, right? Healthy, wealthy, and wise. And so we're going to get those Jackie Reid weekly health tips. You get them in your email. It's easy. You just open the email and you do the things in it, and it keeps you healthy, and it actually makes your life better. And then if you want to go even further toward health, even further toward it, and you want to be mocked by people like me, you want to earn my disdain because you're so healthy that I'm actually deeply envious of you. You want to earn my envy. Go to vegansexycool.com, because then you'll be vegan, sexy, and cool, and I'll just be a hater. You see how that works? Suddenly I'm just a hater, and you're vegan, sexy, and cool, and I'm a hater, and y'all are her team. Wow. I'll Jackie Reid team, because you're vegan, sexy, and cool. So go to vegansexycool.com so I can become your hater. How about that?
Lord.
Because you're so healthy, so sexy, so vegan, and so cool. So those are the things that you need to do, in addition to hitting like and subscribe and share for this wonderful show. We're so excited about the Cousin Nation. For those, I have had people ask me in public when we're getting merch. I shall be harassing this lady who's on whatever side I'm pointing.
It's coming.
Cousin Nation merch is coming. We're going to make sure that we have that we start to get our Shopify situation together. That's coming too. So many great things coming in the year of our Lord 2026, because we are not going to just survive. We're going to thrive in this mad era, because you know what? We're Black. It's what we do.
It is what we do. We survive. We've been here before.
We've been here before.
I'll get the book for the book club. We're going to be talking about it soon. Get the book. It is amazing. If I rule the world.
Mine didn't come in the mail yet. That's why I'm not waving one.
Well, listen, I've had to get into this because I'm talking to her in 2 days. We're doing a book talk. I'm very happy.
So when I get mine, I will also wave mine. So on the next episode, I'll be waving my book as well. But we're very excited about our Sora. We're very excited for her success. But make her success it include a #1 New York Times bestseller spot. And you guys can do that. We believe in you. Go get them.
Yeah, she's a great sis, you guys. So support her in what she's doing. All right, you guys. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Toodles. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.